All right, let's talk about nighttime in Dying Light the Beast. So, the idea behind nighttime is that there are insanely dangerous volatile, right? And they mess you up. You can kind of kill them, but it costs you a ton of resources, even in endgame. And it's basically just not worth it to kill them for the most part. They don't really drop things that you can't get from other, like, resource areas. So the things they drop are not really worth the effort of killing them, and from what I could find, the intention behind nighttime was kind of like risk and reward where you get double XP, but anytime you take 5 steps out into the wild at nighttime, you will aggro a volatile, especially if you're fighting zombies. So the risk is there, but is the reward there? I don't think it is. I think if you fight volatiles, it's just straight up not worth it. I burned through like 60 med kits fighting like 5 to 6 of these things at a time. I was able to kill like a handful of them. It took forever to do so, and I had to get them kind of stuck in this UV light where they're constantly taking damage. And it just was not worth it at all. But let's like demo what that looks like. So let's aggro one, because they're everywhere. There's one right there. They're literally everywhere at nighttime. How does he not see me? There he goes. Just figuring it out. Come on. I'm pointing a flashlight at you. We'll hit him once, for good measure. Now, I understand you're supposed to, like, run away from these. I get that. But if you actually want to fight and kill them, they're literally harder to fight because they just keep spawning than the final boss on brutal difficulty, which I think is a little overtuned, personally. Okay, let's drop one of these just for the hell of it. Pop a heal. Alright, you basically have to tag them with a flashlight in order to hit them because they move around too much. And you instantly get swarmed as soon as you start fighting one of them. I think the big issue is instead of aggroing additional volatile, the instant you get into a fight with a single one, you basically are fighting them plus their brothers, plus their sister, plus their mother and cousin, like the entire family just comes out. So there's basically no way to have like an isolated 1v1 that feels like it's an actual duel or a fight, and also the rewards are not good either. So as you fight them, it just gets progressively worse. And your best bet is really to fight them near UV light, because they don't like it. Now if you stand in the UV light, the chase will end, right? But if they get knocked into the UV light, or if you kind of play a corner, they'll kind of chase you and start running into it and start taking damage, and then you can start hitting them with some Molotovs or some damage or whatever, you know, some range things. The other thing too is they just keep appearing out of nowhere, so it doesn't matter how good at the game you are. Like, yes, you can eventually kill some of them, but the reality is, for how much resources you'll be using to kill them, it's just not worth it at all. So I think we can kind of safely conclude that fighting volatiles is either not the intended use, like the intended mechanic, like you're supposed to run away from them basically, and if you happen to kill one, good on you, but the rewards are not worth it at all. Like, the juice is not worth the squeeze for sure. Because like, even if you do everything right, any of them can jump out at you from any direction, and new ones spawn in, so it's like you can keep a handle on, you know, most of them, and then like a random new one will appear and ambush you, which feels cheap and kind of annoying. But it literally is harder than the final boss fight, by the way. I just did the final boss fight, which was like insanely easy compared to this. This is like, can I even get a hit in? The final boss was just like a meme almost. Like, it was so easy, it was crazy. Oh shit. I didn't know he was gonna recover that fast. I thought I had an opportunity there, but... Whoops. Got a heal there. So I've burned through like 60 med kits just kind of fighting them here and there. Now there's ways to like isolate them, kind of, not really. I can try beast mode, of course, but I can't stay. Let's try this. See if beast mode is the winning ticket here. Now you take a lot of damage, so you can't stand next to them really. They are definitely tanking me. Get away for a second. Like, as soon as you run anywhere, they're just like on top of you. Kind of crazy. Oh, I died already. So if you get tagged, like if you get hit, you're probably gonna die if there's like another one near you. So like in that fight, I mean, yeah, I could have platformed better. I could have escaped, but I'm not trying to escape here. I'm level 15. I have max gear. I'm trying to fight and kill them. And even when I get them in UV light, I pop beast mode. I hit them with Molotovs, like max damage Molotovs that do deal meaningful damage to bosses in the game. They're tankier than bosses, which is absolutely ridiculous. I think nighttime is just not worth it right now. The only time it is for turning in quests, because from what I understand, if you turn in quests, you get double XP. So you might as well just wait until nighttime and then like do some quests, like finish them. So that's the only instance. But even then, if you do all the quests and you don't die that much, you will hit level 15, like in a reasonable time frame. So double XP for, I don't know, 2 to 5 times resource consumption for just moving around the map. Is that worth it? I don't think so, because then you're going to be farming more. You're going to be crafting more stuff, which means you have to farm more. One final thing I wanted to check before I completely write off nighttime outside of XP is I'm going to try to sneak in to a dark zone and see what happens when I fight things in there, if it aggroes volatiles or not. Because the other issue too is if you use certain weapons that are loud enough, it might just aggro them as long as they're nearby. So I think the big issue with nighttime is that it doesn't offer loot, and the volatiles are super overtuned. The fight is not fun. Escaping from them, fine, maybe for early to middle game, but I feel like you should be able to like turn things around in end game and actually reasonably fight them. Because like everything else is like a cakewalk by comparison. Like I just like one-shot that dude. So like if you can get into dark zones safely, maybe that's worth it for nighttime. And then you just have to play around the volatiles knowing that you basically should not fight them. Which I feel like, you know, it could be more... If they, you know, either make them, leave them as hard as they are and make them, like, drop crazy things, or I would, like, rebalance them. I'm fine with them, like, demolishing you in early to middle game, but for end game, I feel like with good play and positioning and attacking, you should be able to reasonably fight them. Alright, so we could get double XP in dark zones, which are probably weirdly safe. The other thing I wanted to check, too, is if aggroed volatiles chase you into dark zones. So I guess we'll just aggro one. Hello? Do you chase me in here? In there? Does he do it? Oh, I think it spawned one in here. Do I have a 1v1? Let's see if I have a 1v1 here. Let's see. It might just keep spawning them in, though. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this is not a thing. So if you aggro them, you're done. In this. In a closed encounter. So either they're spawning in or they're finding a way in somehow. I think they're just spawning in. I think it just spawns them at your location, and they like crawl through the vents and stuff. Alright, so it's safe to say that dark zones at nighttime, if you sneak and do not aggro volatiles, could be worth it. Because then you can get double XP, which can help you power level to some degree. But beyond that, like exploration at nighttime, if you get into combat, you're likely to aggro them. And if you aggro them, even if you beat them, let's assume you're the best at the game and you beat them. You're going to burn through so many med kits, so many bandages. You're going to be under so much pressure. You make a single mistake and 2 hit you simultaneously and you're gone. I'm running tank gear right now, I think. Or no, I'm running scavenger. I was earlier when I was doing these tests, but I was running like tank gear earlier. But like in endgame, your gear scales, so I have like the highest defense value for this set at least. So it's just not worth it. It's kind of a gimmick, I feel. I'm fine with it being so hard you have to run away from them, but I feel like the reward is not worth it. I think if you kill one, you should get some crazy shit, like maybe like early epic and legendary stuff if you can manage to kill them, because they're just such resource sponges that it's just not worth it. And then being out at nighttime in general, the big issue with XP being the only benefit to being out at night is if you die, especially on brutal difficulty, you lose a huge chunk of XP. So if you gain, you know, double XP and you only get like 500 XP from doing like a dark zone and then coming back, if you die, you lose like 2,000, 3,000 XP. So like you probably will still average either a similar amount of XP or potentially less if you even die just like a handful of times, because every death seriously sets you back XP wise. So I don't really think that it's worth the risk right now. And the rest of the game is significantly easier than the Volatile fight. That is, right now, the hardest fight in the game. It's not even close. None of the bosses, even the triple... there's like a triple fight, like you fight 3 things at once. that was significantly easier than just fighting volatiles in general. Not even like even just fighting 3 of them, because they're so fast, they're always on top of you, they tank you, they dodge your attacks, and you burn out of stamina from like swinging at them. I mean, if you use guns, you could try that, but then you're wasting tons of ammo. Their drops aren't even that good. I just feel like it's completely lacking, and I don't even think nighttime is worth it, I'll be honest. Like when I first started playing this game, I was like experimenting with nighttime. I saw like someone's guide. They're like, "Oh, make sure you play during nighttime." And it's like, okay, I guess I'll try it out. And it just didn't seem like it was worth it because like the risk for the reward does not make any sense at all. Like just burning through supplies, ignoring the XP completely, burning through extra supplies and needing to play slower because you have to avoid things, or if you aggro them, run away from things, completely undoes any potential efficiency gains unless you're like a literal god of the game and can perfectly get in and out of dark zones and kill. And even then, like dark zones don't have that many infected. You're not getting that much XP anyways. You're better off killing XP in the open world. None of this makes sense because if I'm playing it during the daytime, I can just kill groups of infected constantly, get extra resources from that, and also I can encounter like military dudes and kill them and get ammo. I can do convoy raids safely. Like do a convoy raid at night. See how fun that is. see how that goes. Is that worth it? I don't think so. I think nighttime is completely not worth it at all. Now, how would I fix it? Because right now I'm talking a lot of shit. How would I fix it? Well, the first thing I would do is make it so volatiles aggro individually and that the chase increases based on you moving around. So if I aggro 1, I'm at chase level 1. If I aggro 2, I'm at chase level 2. And then if I aggro 3, like if I'm rushing through and I start to aggro more, I would prefer it to be more organic because things, high health, high damage, fast, very like mobile enemies spawning everywhere in every direction, that's like a boss fight, or at the very least like a boss encounter. So I would like it to be more reasonable. Like you can still make them difficult, but just make it so they're not like so oppressive they completely undermine the entire point of night, which is it's supposed to be harder at night, but not so hard that if you do one thing slightly wrong, you're now in a fight harder than the final boss fight or any fights in the game, period. Like there are no boss fights that are as hard as a volatile fight because you will be fighting like 7 at a time and then more will be appearing. And if they all hit you at once, if like 2 or 3 are near you, they hit you at once, you're instantly killed. So, and I did look up, you know, just to rule out, you know, maybe because I'm newer to the series, maybe I'm missing something. The best players in the game, like the best instances of people playing this, like at nighttime and doing well, I found one dude who literally just ran away and did parkour the entire time until daytime happened, didn't get a single kill. And then another guy was playing the game before it launched, and I think they were a little bit easier to kill. And he said that nighttime was too easy, but he's like a veteran of the series, probably like 1,000 hours or whatever. And even then, his kills on them, he had to do like Ring Around the Rosie on a prop, where he got the volatile on a prop and was in beast mode, and then eventually killed like 1 or 2, but it took him a while as well. So even like masters of the game, like confirmed veterans of the game, still don't really like. They're just, you know, if they want them to be like virtually unkillable, fine. If they want to force you to run away, that's fine. But I feel like nighttime rewards are just not worth it. And like if you want us to play around these dangerous mechanics, and they're harder than the like literally any boss fight, there should be like some serious advantage to doing so. 2 times XP does not matter as much when if you die, it resets any advantage you could gain from it. And it's so easy to die to volatiles. It's like they can leap on you from like any rooftop. They can spawn in, as you saw earlier, in that dark zone. It just does not feel worth it at all. Alright, so there's my long-winded rant about why I don't think nighttime matters or is worth it. I would like to see it addressed, like changed. Not necessarily made easier, but like I would like it so that if I actually fight these things, I can reasonably kill them with using my skills, using my abilities, using gadgets, and maybe even end a chase by killing like like maybe a chase triggers a set amount of volatiles to kill, and maybe they're a little bit more reasonable to kill. And I mean, I'm still fine with them killing you super fast, because then it forces you to like dodge and avoid and stuff. That's totally fine. But I think their health pool is just, it's just not fun to fight against, and it's just dumb. It's like you have to run away. I'm not the type of person who's like, oh my god, this is so scary. I'm more just like, oh, there's an enemy, I'm gonna kill that. So like when this enemy is like invincible, and there's like no real reason as to why it's invincible, just because it's so scary to run away. It's literally tankier than like the behemoth like boss that's like the size of like a building almost. It's like, really, that thing? Like these little guys are tankier than like a Colossus type thing, or like the chimeras and shit. Like I just don't. It doesn't make sense to me. Like why specifically them? Like I don't know. All right, that's it.